humankind. From mental health to social justice, we're here to discuss racism, equality, love and trust. No judgment zone, just open hearts, minds and souls. Together we stand, united and bold. A platform for the silence, a stage for the unheard. This is where we gather, no topic left behind. Inner Circle Podcast, a place to unwind. Opinions shared, stories told, hearts intertwined. We're here for a community, for you, for humankind. From mental health to social justice, we're here to discuss racism, equality, love and trust. No judgment zone, just open hearts, minds and souls. Together we stand, united and bold. A platform for the silence, a stage for the unheard. This is where we gather, no topic left behind. Inner Circle Podcast, a place to unwind.
All right, folks. Gentlemen, we're still sharing?
Yeah, you have to.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. We can hear you. Then you have to send us linked. We can share on our videos.
Oh, maybe go on the page.
Just going in a circle page.
Oh, okay. Yeah. You're right. I'm bad.
I got you though. Here,
We lie.
Copy this link from your phone that I just sent you. And you can post it to either way.
Okay, thank you.
That should work out.
Yeah.
That should work out.
Okay.
Chaz, are you good?
Yeah, I'm good. I can hear you guys.
Let's hit it.
I thought somebody kidnapped you, bro.
You gotta start on Chess.
Yeah. I need it.
All right, gentlemen. Well, good evening, guys. Folks, you're watching us. We'd like to say good evening. Our schedule changed. We will be here on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 7, trying to do 2 days a week. And so you guys will be seeing our faces quite often. I'll just go around and just check in. Do a quick check-in. My Monday has been good so far. I mean, I had a really good day. And overall, everything is going good. AB, how about you?
Yeah. Thanks, Chairman, and thanks, gentlemen. Welcome again, everyone. Welcome to our guest. Yeah, my day has been going well. Obviously, busy week. You have the DNC convention going on for those Democrats out here, and in the political world. And then, but obviously, my just the second day of the week, but my week is great. And we have 2 more weeks before school opens. So obviously, once that happens, it's gonna be busy. But so far, so good.
Okay. Titus?
Yeah, gentlemen, good to be back with all of you. Glad to see all these brilliant faces. It's been a good week so far. And as Ib said, we're kind of gearing up for back to school. As you know, in a couple of weeks here, all these guys and girls will be returning to school. Give us some quietness at home, at least for a little bit. But yeah, so far so good, and I'm glad to be back here so that we can have good quality conversation. Thank you.
Appreciate you being here, bro. Chase, what's up?
Man, I'm doing good, man. Busy week. But today has been a little quieter. Yeah. Just looking forward, man, to partaking in this talk. The shore,
Thanks for being back.
Yeah, bro.
Sugar, Lionel.
Yes, sir.
What's up? You were fired up last week. Hopefully you're back with the same energy.
He's prepared.
I hope I am. But so far my week is going great. It has been busy for the past 4 weeks. We have a lot going on at work, but locking it down. But I'm glad to be back. This is exciting, and I look forward to kind of just diving into things, talking about where we stopped the last time. You know, I'm grateful to be here with you guys tonight.
Good. Welcome, man. It's good to have you. It's good to have every one of you. Where's Dream? When did she go?
She might be having technical difficulties. I'm sure she's gonna join us, so we can get started.
Well, Tadas, let me check on Dream, and you just Tadas, just share with us anything that's popping up in the community before we dive into our show.
Hey, I know the last time, I think it was either you, Chairman, or Abe, discovered an article about a black guy who came up with this online platform. Any of you remember that?
Yeah, someone posted it. Yeah.
I've been here
Yes.
the whole time.
Oh, there you go,
Bring you
Dream.
backstage.
Dream.
Right, I was here.
Yeah, let's check in with you, and then we'll go back to Tadas. How's your week been so far?
Great. Just preparing for September. Nothing much. Less busy week.
Oh, okay. Well, it's good to have you. We had a good time last week. We were here. And we're glad to have you back. Who's struggling with you back this, Chase?
The man tried to clear his camera because he hit the dark there. He tried to see that and then the camera died up, put it light on.
Hey, President man.
Hey, you see the man can see it, sir. You see the man wiping the camera.
I want to ask Chase one question, but I can't ask him any question.
Nah, don't ask me more right now, bro. You have water. I think
I'll ask you after.
I got all right.
I'll ask you
no
later.
lighting. I got you no lighting now.
Anyway, Tadas, you were saying, welcome, Dream. Tadas, you were saying that one guy, right, who created the app for.
Yeah, you built online tutoring platform.
Yeah, can you follow up on that?
Well, I didn't get far with that story, actually.
Okay.
It seemed like it's something that happened a couple of years ago, and but he's building his business. We're just excited that it's coming from within our area, Minnesota. Well, I can't be racist, or I can just be pro-black. He's black, so we're excited about that. But the online tutoring, a lot of kids, in different homes are looking forward to these opportunities, and just to be able to get that online, I think that's really that's a great endeavor for him.
Right.
And so that's the one that came out of Brooklyn Park this week.
Okay. Do you know if is he Liberian or he's just a black kid from Brooklyn Park?
You know what? No, I didn't get what his actual nationality was.
Okay. Well,
I
hey,
was looking at that too.
The fact that he was able to come up with that's a platform that a lot of kids can use, to be able to catch up on their education. So yeah, that's good support. So welcome all of you. Thank you, Tatas, for bringing that and sharing more light on that. Folks, if you're watching us this evening, we'd like to say welcome. We are here every Tuesday and Thursdays. Thursday, we are trying to be different from a lot of other platforms. We are really hoping to continue to discuss a lot of social issues within our community. And we got great guys here who are volunteering their time to be a part of the discussion. And I want to say thank you guys for always being here. And our Lady Dream also for being here, Mashir. So we are doing part 2 of this all-important topic. Last week, if you missed last week, go back and watch it. Last week was hot. It was good. It was juicy. We had a great discussion. And tonight, I don't think we'll fall short of that also. The topic tonight is child support and the issues with families. We were able to bring up some of the issues last week, but we told ourselves that we didn't have time enough. Time was not in our favor to continue to discuss the issues. So we are back tonight to further discuss those issues. So I'll move on to Abby. You're coming in with something.
Yeah. I just want to say why it is that we will be, tackling social issues and issues, current events in our society. I mean, in our community. We'll also be like, as Stardust alluded to earlier, folks that are making a difference in our community. Folks that
Yes,
are doing
certainly.
a lot of good work. And then as also as like we just tackle whatever current events that is going on in our community and in Minnesota, in our broader community. Because we have to be, as we started this week, 2 days a week. Hopefully we can move to like 5 days or 7 days a week, just so we can cover a lot of stuff, because we have a lot of stuff going on in this community, and it needs to be covered. But this is a great topic we are discussing, as you said. So I mean, let us just, and then to our guests, to our public, right, to the public out there, if you have a topic that you can suggest to us, I would say, send it our way, right? If you want to
Definitely.
appear here, come on. And I mean, if you have issues that you want to discuss, you know, we are open to that as well. So I just want to throw that out there.
No, very important. And the number on the screen here right now, the 612 number. If you feel led to be a part of this discussion tonight, please just call in and contribute. Um, you know, and be part of the show. So we'll love to have you. We'll love to hear from you. And thank you, Abby, for sharing that. Any other thoughts, comments?
No.
Okay.
I would just like to support Abe when he recommended that the community audience, anybody feel free. As you see on up there, this is the real community show. So we're targeting topics every day that we're involved with in our homes, in our community. So anything you think about, please feel free to suggest that to us.
Definitely.
Let's build
All right.
together.
Yeah, no, for sure. And this is why we are here, and that's the goal. That's the aim. So our topic, we're gonna just get into it. What are some of the issues we left on the table last week?
Mhm.
I know,
Whether
Tatas, you were pretty stuck on child support being more of a business for the government, and so they are running it as a business and not so much an interest of of the family or the child. I will give you the time to go more into that, and so our audience can hear you, and we can also hear from you as well on that.
Thank you, Chairman. One of our supporting arguments from last week too, focusing on that point that I made, that child support, the system, because I'm mostly focusing on the system, is mostly concentrated on finance and is a business instead of considering the overall interest and the well-being of the child. I think one of the panelists made a supporting argument by saying, I think it was Chase, who said that if the child support agency, if they are enforcing these payments, these, I mean, you get penalties. There are consequences that you face as a non-custodial parent if you're not meeting up to those requirements. Um, if they're enforcing that side of it, I think Melvin also supported that. That if they're enforcing that side of it, that they should also be enforcing the other side. What happens when those payments are made? And there were some thoughts and opinions about, well, the government is not responsible for how parents are supposed to raise their children or how parents are supposed to, you know, bring up their kids or how they're supposed to spend money on their children. Well, in contrast, the government is enforcing consequences. The government is ensuring that if a non-custodial parent is lagging on their payment, there are consequences. So, in short, they're enforcing those financial payments. So the argument stands to be if it is truly about the well-being or overall interest of the child, then the government will also be, taking care of that other side of the payment. I think that was one of the um, points that we were hung up on, and we wanted to kind
Right.
of look into.
No, I think you
So,
did a good job of recapping. Maybe go ahead.
Yeah. So I will say that though, if that's the sticking point, or that's where we left off, if they say it's like the government should enforce that aspect of it. So are you think, or do you think, my bad, do you think the money that is, like the child support payment is not being used for the welfare of the child? Is that your is that a me is that a me argument there that the money is not being used for the welfare of the child? How does a
whether
child eat?
so,
How does a child eat?
So,
How does a
so,
child, like get clothes or housing and all those stuff? How's that been? I mean,
so,
has that
so
been?
it'd be. So I think Tatos was recapping.
Okay.
Tatos major point last week, and I think he will continue to defend this point. Was that child support is strictly a business for the government. The government is generating major revenue from this, and so
Yep.
Tatos, how can you then defend this argument?
well, I mean, last week we made a point that this program, this system is um, heavily financed by the federal government. The state doesn't rely on its own monies to run this program, and in addition to being financed by the federal government, there are taxes, there are interest fees that are added upon arrears and payments. So if a non-custodial parent is lagging on a payment or is incapable of making a payment, those charges will continue to pile up, and they pile up um, based on interest. So that is a form of business. Another point that we struck there was whatever the non-custodial parent um, is giving to that custodial parent. Well, why is it that complete amount is not going to the child or to the custodial child? Because again, the government has a piece of the pie, for lack of a better term. So I mean, these were just some of the components that we put together that kind of focus on the business aspect of it.
I have a question for you, but I'll come back to that. Is there anybody that agrees with Titus?
Yes.
Yes, I.
You want to say more about that?
Me?
Yeah, go ahead, Dream.
Yeah, I agree with Titus because first of all, if this payment was for the betterment of the child, I feel like the money would have been paid directly to the parents' account instead of going through second hand, third party, and stuff like that. But rather, it would have been going directly to the custodial parent account.
But
For to,
you have people who are working in a system, working to process these payments. I mean, how would the government pay them?
Through the
well,
federal funding.
Yeah.
exactly. So this
Okay.
um so now what you're saying is the money that the non-custodial parent is paying, the part of it is being used to pay people who are being hired by the federal government or state government or whomever that's in charge of these policies and stuff. So now the non-custodial parent or whoever parent that is paying these money, they are also responsible for um employees that are hired by the government. Is that what we're saying now? Because that's what it's starting to look like.
So
If the
so so when you're running a business, right? When you're running a business, you will hope that you put money in and get money out, right?
Yeah, so that's why then the point.
So every business will want to have a profit, right? So how can the government be running a business if they're essentially not making profits?
So that's why it comes back to Tyler's point that it is a business. It's about the money. So
Uh,
that
um,
that's what I think. That's
first of
that.
first of
And
first
I
of all,
support that. Yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead.
yeah,
Go ahead. AB, then
No,
we'll
here
go
we
to
go.
you.
yeah. First of all, if I can step in here, right? I think if we like the issue we started last week and this we were in like okay now we are trying to say okay the support and the effect on families. I think number one we need to get away from the fact that right if Tada is saying if he insists it's a business number one that the federal government is uh is funding part of it. Can he? I don't just want us to be on this platform, right? Just saying things to us without any kind of like providing numbers behind it. Because to me, hey, I believe in numbers. Okay, how much is the federal government, or what percentage, or how much is the federal government supporting each state that's just support? Because I don't think the thing, right? Like to your point, Chairman, you have folks working in the system. The very child support people paying, okay, the government collecting part of those fees, okay, to pay those folks. And then they are also right. The federal government aspect is right. It's just on the enforcement piece. That's where the federal government and the state government comes in. Okay, those are just the way as I said last week. There's a fees-based system. You don't expect the government to I mean force you and I, if I'm on child support, force me to pay child support, and then who's going to administer that?
Mm-hmm.
How are they folks going to get paid? To your question, how are they folks going to get paid?
Right.
I don't think we should go down that rabbit hole and that black hole. This is not a business. This is meant to what? To benefit families, to keep families together. To support those kids. So we shouldn't
Right.
go down that. To me, that we shouldn't go down that rabbit hole. This is not a business for real.
Well,
So
let's hear from
All right,
Chase.
then my
Let's hear from
argument,
Chase.
then my
Chase, take
argument
the
will
talk.
be
let
why
me
this have all these
let me
consequences in place, such as driver license being revoked. Um,
What does that even have to do with?
no, I'm just saying to his
Oh
point.
no,
My argument now would be
yeah.
that because the non-custodian parent, if it's not a business or if this was not enforced as a business, because still think it is a business, right? I honestly still think it is a business. They wouldn't enforce your passport being seized, revoking your driver license, and or permit, whatever the case may be, or even jail time, right? But these consequences are in place because they have to enforce. It's a business, like Chairman point. But they have to make profit. They have to make profit. This is how they get their money through the door.
I didn't say it was a business though.
Okay,
Well,
yeah,
no,
what?
that's what
Okay,
you
can
are
you
Tatos
doing.
is
can
saying
you
that.
Business
can you
has to
state the
make
profit
profit.
amount? Can you
You
state the profit amount?
Yeah, but
I,
let me
I, I really
let me
thought. I
let me
really thought.
let me
I
come
really
in. Let me
thought.
come here a little bit, guys.
All right,
And
guys.
before you do, I really
Let's
thought.
let them
I
come in.
really thought
the,
topics were coming in
let
today
me
for a lot of figures.
the point
Yeah,
that
let
you
me come in,
We,
guys. Let me
Well,
come
we
in.
we
yeah,
no,
a lot, Melvin.
we
You
have
you
we
know
have
the
we
go ahead,
have
process.
Melvin. Go
figures.
ahead, Melvin. Go ahead.
All right,
All right,
guys.
all
We
right.
have
So,
figures.
so
We just
after
want
after
to.
Melvin, then we'll come back to you to hear these figures.
Yeah,
All
we got
right.
figures.
So Tatos is saying it's a business, and I'm aligned with that. Um, I'm aligned with the fact that it's a business. What do I mean by that? And how am
We
I
need
aligned
figures.
with
We
it?
need figures.
What I mean by that is, if this
One.
is not a business, there are other things the government need to ensure, like the well-being of the child. Now,
Yes.
these are causing a lot of conflicts among parents, right? Wherein some of the non-custodian parents are not being allowed to be involved in the kid's life. For me personally, I don't really mind a system being in place, but I think it should go beyond just looking at the financial aspect. And that's where Tata is coming from. They're more focused on the money piece of it and nothing else aside from just the money piece of it. We talk about them enforcing all the law in place to ensure the non-custodian parents pay what they need to pay to the government if that is determined, by seizing your driver's license and showing that you sometimes go to jail. I think that should be, it's gonna go as far as just collecting money. Like, okay, this child, sometimes the custodian parent does not allow the non-custodian parent to be involved in a child's life. So if we're saying this is child support, we got to look at all of those aspects. That's where Tata is coming from. He's not saying he's against collecting child support payment. He's just saying there are many other things that basically aligns with the child well-being, like emotional well-being, having a father and mother involved in a kid's life. Those pieces are not looked at by the government. They just focus on the money piece of it.
No,
What
I
about
disagree.
the other key things we keep talking about here? These things are not being taken into consideration by the government. But
I
here is
totally
it:
disagree.
when the non-custodian parent is not paying
One
that
second.
money that is being determined by the government, right? They come after you. But then how about the non-custodian parent's involvement in this child's life?
And how
Sometimes
the
the non-custodian parent have to pay money.
Before we wrap up this segment of Tata's point or argument, we'd like to give you a second chance here, Tata, because we all know that in order for a person to run a business and continue to run a business, you must be making profit, right? And so back to you. We want to hear figures, right?
I'm
Do you
sorry.
have these figures to share in
Before
order to convince us that this is indeed a business?
But before Chairman, before I think Melvin tried to raise a couple of issues, you know what I mean, and stuff. And before there's a go, you go to
But
Tata. No. Before you go to Tata, I would just like to clarify that look, the law gave each parent the opportunity to be involved in the child life.
No,
Okay.
it does not.
The law does.
Hold on, let me make
the reason why-
I will address it.
Abby,
Yeah. Yeah.
the reason
hold
why
Yeah.
I don't want you to touch too much on what Melvin said. Melvin
Okay,
said
okay.
some things that are heavily packed, right? And
Okay,
it deviates from what Tatos is saying. So we'll
Okay,
come back to Melvin because those
sure.
will be when we dive in more into the issues and how child support affects families, right? As a whole, we'll pull most of those things he said out. So I
Okay.
want to go back to my brother Tatos, your neighbor.
Yeah.
For him to really take himself out of this rabbit hole that he's been digging for a while.
Exactly.
So I
Tatos,
think-
what to you?
Chairman, can you excuse me for a little bit?
Go ahead.
Yes. So the reason why Shay said that you mentioned or you insinuated that you agree with Titus that it is a business, you keep making mention of profits, and that's insinuating that you agree that this is a business. So I just wanted to get that across.
No, to be clear,
No. How can you? No. That's
to be
not.
clear,
No,
I was
we want-
asking Tatos.
It
Yes.
was
I was asking Tatos to prove that this is a business from profit. What profits are there? What profits are they making? Because if this is a business, then there has to be profit.
And let's stick to Minnesota. How much does the child support service in Minnesota generate? And how much of it go to the system itself, and how much of it goes to the government?
Right. So Tatos,
Yeah,
convince
give
us.
us figures. Yeah.
So you guys ready for me now, right?
We're ready
Well,
for
let me just say though before I bring up these figures, all right? What Melvin was talking about is something that we all talked about last week, right? We talked about how they are not looking at the overall aspect of the welfare or the well-being of the child. However, I continue to focus on this monetary aspect of it because this program is heavily funded. We did some research, okay? In research according to the Center on Budget and Policy Priorities, you can go to their website cbp.org, right? So in 2022 alone, the system of child support yielded over $22 billion across the United States in profits.
Profits.
In profit. Okay, so just get those numbers down, and you can do further research on them.
22 billion in profit.
In profits.
Yes, in profit.
And how much?
How
How much
do
are generated?
they-
How much went to operations then?
How do they
That's
get?
something you have to research, Brazil.
No.
The man has some balls, man.
No.
Oh, man, look, we can't do this.
No, we shouldn't go down. As I said, don't go down that rabbit hole.
You
gonna allow me to
No,
website.
no,
Make
you're not
your
gonna do
website
that.
to
You're not
go
gonna
do
do
your
this to
own
us,
digging.
man.
Yeah, don't do that.
Okay.
You're gonna allow
Yeah.
me to continue?
Okay, no. Before you continue on that, my question is: if you say profit, let's say what was the revenue? Because you have to have revenue, expenses, and then what? Oh, that's like a profit. So give her the revenue piece, give her the expense piece, and give her the profit because you say profit. Give her the
So
revenue piece.
we can do extensive research
Let's do this. Let's do this
on
real quick.
these numbers.
You mentioned that the federal government funds this program. So in 2022, which you
That
said
is a fact.
they
Yeah.
generated 22 billion. How much did the federal government give as funding initially?
In 2022,
That's a year. I mean, that's a year you're
in
alluding to.
2022 alone.
That's the
Yeah.
year you call.
Yeah.
Is that a question?
Yes,
sir.
So okay, so the numbers we're providing here, right? According to the research that we did, the numbers that we're providing here is not specific to a state. We're getting a general.
Overall. No,
No
overall.
problem. No problem.
Overall.
The question is so relevant.
Well, I got percentage. They said, I mean, my percentage was about 68%.
Of enforcement. They provide enforcement for the enforcement piece.
Not enforcement,
enforcement piece.
contribution. It said contribution. That's what I got. It said contribution. So that wouldn't be enforcement. Okay, if we look at the amount of people, I mean, the numbers we have in America, over, right? If we doing the statistic of it, it wouldn't just be enforcement.
Like for example, right? Let's do this. Hey,
more than 60%.
Without having the figures on hand, right? Let's do this, right?
Yeah.
When a person collects, let's say that the system say, hey, John will pay his baby mom $500 each week. No, bi-weekly, right? 500 bi-weekly.
Yeah.
They will probably give about maybe 300, right? And the other one, the 200 or whatever will be for processing fees and all of that stuff, right?
Yeah, and taxes. Yeah, it's taxable.
Taxes,
yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
So if those small productions are going to
yes, what you got? Hold on, Joma. You talk
the
about
mistake you continue to make here.
When a non-custodian parent is paying child support, he or she also pays taxes. Now, the government is, like we keep saying here, the government is saying this is child support, which aims at the well-being of the child, right? No, hold on. Let me let
that number will not be.
Let me just hold you there for a minute, though. Let me just hold you there for a minute.
Let me help you understand this, Rizzo. Let me help you understand this. The number
let the man land.
Just heck me.
The numbers that he giving is strictly for child care. Child support is break down into 3 segments, right? The child care, the how you call it? I'm help you guys understand the medical and the child support itself. So that number specifically he's giving is for child support. It doesn't include the child care. It doesn't include medical.
You guys are going down a rabbit hole here. That's not
I'm trying to help you guys understand that because
these are factual numbers.
I'm telling you now.
You keep saying the government basically pay these people that work for child support agency. I want you to understand, government revenue can be generated not just from child support. People that work for the government get paid from the federal government or the state, depending on which bureau you work with. I'm coming. Don't shake your head. Mm-hmm. Now, child support is created to go after parents that basically are not involved in their kid's life financially. That's the case, right? Now, if I'm not involved financially in the life of my child, the system come after me to make sure that child has what he or she needs. Now, the system is collecting fees. Parents pay application fee for applying for child support. You know that, right? No funds, where do they go? They go to government when they apply for it. Now, you keep saying government collect, they pay the agency, people that work with the government, that work with child support agency, just on the basis of the fees collected. That's not the case. Government make money from every wealth of area. We pay taxes. When a parent, a not considering parent is paying child support, he or she also pays taxes to the government. Now, I'm paying tax, collecting taxes for that money that is going to the child. So where is that benefiting the child? The question to you: how is it benefiting the child? I'm coming. My question is that my question hasn't ended. How is that benefiting the child when the parent, not considering parent, is paying taxes on his or her income, and also the government collecting fees for the money that is being paid to the child, which is intended for the child well-being?
Right.
It doesn't make
Are you done? Are you done?
Yes, I'm done.
Okay, so the amount that is determined for child support for both parents, they determine it based on both parent gross income. Gross income, okay?
And both parents pay taxes to the government, correct?
Well, but you don't pay income on.
We
First of
pay
all,
taxes to the government, correct? Both federal
the payment amount. You pay the taxes, as I said, the government, first of all, they say it's only the federal government is not collecting taxes on our child support money that you are paying.
But the collecting
If
taxes
the government is not
from the
collecting
income.
taxes from there, it's fees. It's
collecting
fees.
income from the same income. You talk about fee,
Maybe
but when
it's
not
not
custodian
taxable,
parent is
but
applying
it's
for
fees.
child
The
support,
federal,
Hold on a
when
second.
not
Hold on a second.
custodian parent is applying for child support, they also pay fees. You know
All right,
that?
hold on, Melvin. Hold on, Melvin.
Can I-
So,
are you? Hey, wait.
Jim,
Are
before
you
you come in,
saying that
let's
the federal
understand
government
Melvin's
does not
question
collect
here.
taxes
Melvin.
Yes, sir.
from the
Ask that
from the
question one
parents?
more
Is
time.
that what
What
you're
is your
saying?
question?
What?
My question to AB,
Uh-huh.
he keeps talking about government collecting fees,
Tax.
right? Which
Right.
we're not looking at this as a business when government is collecting fees from the not considering parent money to pay to their child support they are paying to the custodian parent. Now, government makes money, revenue
Oh,
from
that's-
every area. We buying things and paying taxes. We
But that's
work
not what
and
we're
paying
talking about,
taxes.
Melvin.
No.
Yeah, that's not what we're talking about.
Hold
That's not what
on,
we're
I'm
talking
coming.
about. Okay,
Joma, hold on.
Gentlemen, okay.
Let me learn.
So,
Okay,
hold
man,
on,
okay,
hold on,
ask
hold
a
on.
question. I mean,
I'm
ask a
still
question and
talking.
learn.
That's not what we're talking about, but it's very important that we talk about it, right? These fees
that's
they are
true.
collecting. These
But
fees
it's not pertaining
people that
to the
work
business aspect
for
we're talking
government.
about.
Look, the fees the government is collecting government is not making. No, government is using it to fund to pay those people to even okay the billion those people say that in to pay to pay all these things. Look,
So,
gentlemen, the issue here.
And
why
they-
do we call it?
If
Why
we're
do
here
we
to
call
talk
it
about child
support?
support,
If the
we should
government
talk about
collecting
government
fees
making
from
profit
it,
out of it for real.
if
Honestly.
the government is collecting fees from it, why is it called child support?
Okay, so
All right, so gentlemen, I think we're getting scattered here, right? I think we're getting
Right.
scattered here.
yeah, let's come back to
And
order.
Drain, come in a little bit. Maybe you can help out. If not, then I will try to clarify
Yeah.
some things.
What I want to say is let's not forget it's called child support. This all should be about the child. But is that really what it is? If the government is taking money from the money that the non-custodian parent is paying, the government, according to something that I read today, the government takes some funds to back up these things from some non-profit organizations. Why don't the government use their own revenues to be able to pay these people that they're hiring to process these things? Child support payments with all of those extra money and the charges that they're making is causing families to go poor. How is that benefiting the child if the child's parent is being affected? How is it benefiting the child if the child parent has to struggle and create separation and bad blood? Why not focus on getting the parents to get not together, to be in the child life together equally? Why not focus on that? It's child support, remember. It should only be about finances and stuff. It should be also be about focusing on getting both parents equally involved in the child life, regardless of finances. So it's about the child. So that's one thing we should get in mind. Whether it's a business or not, this is about the child.
And Dream, thank you. And I think we should pivot away from this figure thing.
Right. I was
Because
just
we were
about to.
going
I
there.
just about to mention that too,
I
because I
think we
think
should leave this business aspect
Yeah,
because we don't
as I
have
said,
enough
right?
data to support that.
no, no, no.
Yeah,
We
there's
still,
no data.
we still, for me, I
There's no
still
data.
stand with
It's-
No. I mean,
our point.
and that's
That,
fine.
Being
That's
as a
that
fine.
would be
But I don't think. I think we will be going all over the place tonight. We'll try to focus on understanding the
Going
business
down a
aspect.
rabbit hole
Because
that's
the
not
way
necessary.
I
that
view
would
business,
be
we don't have the data to support that argument. So let's focus on
well,
some of the
the
effects.
data is here. You will have
I
to
understand that
go later and
the 22
do
billion,
research.
The data
the
you call it
22
as a
billion, we
focus data.
understand. We appreciate you bringing it
We go
forward.
one at a time, guys. One at a time.
Hold on 1 second. We understand the 22 billion. We appreciate you bringing it forth. But tonight, we don't want to dwell on that. I don't think we have enough data to back other things.
We
So
can,
let's
we can
stay
break,
away from that.
we
Let's
can
stay
break
away.
this down to state.
Now, Dream, we'll go back to you, right? We'll go back to you, Dream, and then after you, Melvin, because he was also bringing some things up here. So, families who are dealing with child support, right? How do you think that brings some division within the families?
Well, it brings separation, bad blood, because these things, first of all, should be able to, both parties should be able to settle it amicably, and they're not able when the government is getting involved. What I feel like is they should be able to focus on the benefits of the child from child support. Like Melvin mentioned, the money that is being paid, that is going towards the child care, like Chase said, child medical bills and stuff. Majority of the times, children can be on either of their parents' medical or with the state. The state have medical insurance for kids. Sometimes the jobs that the parents have, they offer medical bills and insurance for the child. So if the money that are being paid, if they're only, or if child support is only focusing on finance, then what about the relationship between the parents and the child? So I feel like if the government is only focusing on finance, it's going to continue to bring problem because, like I said, bad blood. If I'm paying money and I can't have equal access as the custodian parent to my child, it's going to make me feel somehow. Because I'm paying the money towards my child and it's my responsibility, but I also need to be equally involved in my child's life. So those things bring up separation, it bring up bad blood, and bring tact to the non-custodian parent because it's saying, well, I'm putting your child support because you're not trying to be involved in your child life. Even though some men or some fathers or some custodian parents try to be in their child's life, but regardless of that, are being put on child support that are only based on finances. So I feel like it caused a lot of problems. Most importantly, separations between families.
Right. Any take? We'll go on to Melvin. Melvin, bring up some of your points you were bringing up earlier. You got about 2 minutes, and then we'll go to Chase.
That's a lot of time. Thank you. So let's make this clear here. Not all parents that are currently on child support are irresponsible. I want us to kind of understand that. There are parents that are very responsible, still without the system, are still involved. The well-being, financial well-being of their kids, the emotional well-being, and their growth, but still being put on child support. We'll speak to those parents in terms of the negativity. We'll talk about those things. Now, am I against child support? Absolutely not. It should be for parents that are not fully involved in their kids' life. Now, the contrary, we keep going back and forth here, is the lack of the system not having means to get those parents that want to be in their kids' life, also paying children support, but struggle to be involved in a kid's life simply because one of the parents is making it difficult to have them be involved. These are things we are concerned about because we stress the importance of both parents being involved in a kid's life. And those things we kind of mentioned the last time, they have long-term positive impact on the kids' lives. But these things are being challenged simply because one of the parents makes it really hard to have the other parents involved, the custodian parent. So my point here tonight, and things I keep focusing on Sam and the rest of the team, is the system should look into how best they can find means to have both parents be involved in the well-being of the child life, not just the financial aspect.
Yes.
Now, we will look at the example, and we give few examples here. There are parents that try their best to be involved in the kid's life, but one of the parents makes it hard. AB keeps saying the government gave both parents the right to be involved in the kid's life.
The opportunity.
Hold on, AB, let me learn, please. You can come in. Let me learn.
Before your 2 minutes is up.
No, my 2 minutes still there, Sam.
No, you've been talking about the 2 minutes, man.
What I'm trying to say,
2 right now, you go to 3 minutes.
Let me land.
1 minute, Sam. What I'm trying to say is the
I got 30 more seconds.
the system does not enforce both parents' involvement in the well-being of the child life, but the financial piece of it, which is why we are concerned about. Personally, some people don't really care about paying that money to the custodian parent. But parents that love their kids and want to be involved in their kids' life want to be not just the financial piece of it, with or without the system, they will want to be in their kids' life. But one of the parents makes it very challenging to have these parents who love their kid
On 3 minutes.
involved in the life. So those are things we are focused on tonight.
Your time is out, Melvin. Your time is
Yeah,
out.
I will end it.
Your time is out. Your time is out. So I got a question for you.
Yes.
My question to you, I hope you can answer in 30 seconds. When the court decides to determine an amount, is that amount unfair?
Sometimes it is. When one of the parents had their income.
Why are you laughing? Why are you laughing?
Maybe
What I mean by that is.
No, I don't think so. Melvin is speaking the reality here.
What I mean by that is
30 seconds.
you can laugh all you want. If you don't understand the system, you would kind of not understand it. What I mean by that is one of the custodian parents sometimes will have their income. The system does not go after them to be like, you work here and you make this X amount of money.
Some of them deliberately leave
It
not show
goes
their
both
income.
ways, though. It goes both ways.
And I'm speaking to it go both ways.
No, hold on, guys. After your seconds, they will move on to AB.
Yeah, it go both ways, but I'm not limited to any of the parent. I'm not talking about the mom.
Keep saying custodian parent.
So bottom line, you think it's
specifically
unfair?
to the custodian parent.
Bottom line, you think the figure is unfair?
anyone of the
Sometimes it is unfair depending on the case.
Thank you very much. AB, let's go on to you.
Yeah, so just a couple of clarification there, right? Number one, first, the government wants that child support or parent, whoever the custodial parent is, when the only time sometimes this thing comes about, like if the folks are married and they're divorced, they have to determine, the courts have to determine who's going to be the custodial parent and then what they will, there's a go, and then whether they want to do child support, whatever. Two, if like they are not married and they want to have kids, right? Have a child or kid. Okay. Now let's say go that custodial parent in most cases, right? We have to go and apply for what assistance. Once they apply for assistance, they will try to determine who's the what father. That's when they will go after that parent. Okay, I mean, nobody just get up and go, oh yeah, I'm going to what file child support, and then put the after the custodial parent. They will have to determine both income. The third thing I want to see here, right? They give, once you're going through that whole process, they give both parents the opportunity to be involved in that child life.
But that's where I'm coming from, AB. That opportunity that is given is not enforced by the system.
Well,
But the system
I
enforced.
want to know
how is it,
how.
okay, how is it
How
not
the
enforced?
approval
How
is
is it not
given.
enforced? How is
It's
it
not enforced. I
How?
will explain to you. It's not enforced. Here's what I mean by that.
Uh-huh.
The system will focus on the financial piece of it. If a parent
It
is difficult,
focuses on both.
hold on now, let me answer your question. You asked a question. If a custodian parent being difficult, right? You will have to hire a lawyer to go through all of that system. And sometimes it's not in your interest as the non-custodian parents.
And
The
don't forget
system
about
does
the
not
don't
enforce
forget
it.
about the
First of all,
They
you
don't
don't even have to
follow it
hire.
through.
You don't even have to hire a lawyer to do that, though. You can fight for. You can fight whatever. As you
Don't
said,
forget
it
about
gives
the
both people the
fees
opportunity
that are
to be
attached to that
involved there.
process as
Okay,
well.
they determine once you're before they even determine the child support, where they determine okay, number one, who's going to be the custodial parent. If the mother's going to be the custodial parent, then they say okay, let's say I mean the father in that case they determine okay, do you want to have or the not custodial parent? Do you want every weekend or every other weekend? Is a child in school? Let's say okay, you go.
So,
You know,
AB,
It
my
doesn't work
question
that
to
way,
you, why do you
It does
think some
not
people
work that
hire
way.
lawyers for these
Huh?
situations?
It doesn't work the way you
Why
described
do
it.
you think some
I'm
people hire
telling you,
lawyers for these
AB, you
situations?
better-
why do some people hire lawyers?
Yeah.
Because look, maybe they feel they cannot afford it on their own.
No, what do you mean by maybe?
Maybe
You said
Okay,
maybe.
You don't hire
Yeah,
lawyers for these situations, you say that,
Because
you say
you
maybe.
don't need to hire. No, you don't necessarily need to hire a lawyer. I mean, hire a lawyer. You don't necessarily need to hire a lawyer.
AB, let me tell you
Go
something.
empty your
Sam,
case.
I have a question for
Go
AB.
empty your
Chairman,
case.
I have a
Before you
question
ask
for
All right,
AB,
AB.
let me
Maybe
come in. Let me
this
make
question.
Maybe here's my question to you.
What if the person
Yes, my question to you.
Hold on, guys. Hold on. Go ahead, ask your question.
How does the system enforce both parents to be involved in the kid's life?
How does the system enforce that?
Yeah.
Yes.
gives the
Whatever time a lot. Let me tell you, right? What I'm trying to say here, right? They are not going to tell you how to raise. They are not going to tell both the custodial or
That's not
non-custodial
the
parent how to
system
raise that
piece
child.
of it.
What I'm trying to tell you, right? They give both parents the opportunity to be involved
And
in
I keep
that child
asking
life.
you how
Speak
to
to the
get
They
enforcement.
give opportunity, but
Speak to
how
the
is it
enforcement.
enforced if one parent makes it difficult for the non-custodian parent to be involved in the kid's life?
That gives specific let's say example. If they give you a weekend to
Yes.
go, let's say they say okay, every weekend you're entitled to have your child, and let's say the other week is for the other parent or the non-custodial or the custodial parent. Are you saying like, hey, if that weekend is yours, the custodial parent is
It
refusing for you
happens.
to?
Yes.
It
Huh?
happens a lot
In
of
that
the time.
case,
And nothing
you
happens
can
to
go back to court. You can go back to court.
Do you
If
know
you
when
go
you
back,
when-
what
do
is
you know
done?
when you're
That's
allowed
happened
back
many
in
What is
court?
done?
You
You
can
go
go
back
back
to
to
court for the
court. It is
non-custodian
enforced.
parents.
Do you know when you're allowed back in court? Or 6 months to a year later before you can
Okay.
appeal that?
AB, remember now.
Even if you appeal it,
Chris
the
has
Yes,
said.
system does not follow up with it to be like this non-custodian parent has to be involved in the kid's life. This
Okay.
is what needs to be done. But
Right.
here's what we're saying is financial
The
benefit for
same
the
energy that
government.
is applied behind
Because
enforcing payments.
if you are not paying, the non-custodian parent is not paying the child support, they will come after you like Tatos mentioned. You will go to jail. Your
The
driver's
same
license will be
way,
seized.
the same
Why
way,
is-
if the
So if you're
custodial
not-
parent is refusing for you, for you to see your child, the court can come after them.
No.
How?
How?
Yes.
Explain it
No.
how.
Yes.
No. You
No.
have to
Yeah.
go back to court. You have to go back to
No.
court.
You have to go
Yes,
file.
you have to go back to court. Yes.
And
Let
then
me tell you something.
how
Let me
when
say
you
that
go back
with
to
you.
court, what will
AB,
be done?
Melvin, hold on a second. Let me
It's
say
a
this.
process, AB.
Let me say this. The
You
reason
can't-
why some people, the reason why some people take on lawyers when they go to court,
You know the
the
complexity
judge
of the
takes your case
process.
differently. If you appear in court with a lawyer, the judge takes your case differently versus you just
Yeah.
appearing there by yourself.
Yeah.
You know this.
So, okay, so what?
So, but this because the seriousness of this issue,
Let's
when
let's
people go back to court, they want the judge to take them serious and they want the judge to be in their best interest. So they appear in the most serious manner possible. That's why they
do,
take on lawyers.
Then the
but
question
however,
becomes how
that doesn't
many
mean they're
people
going to side with
can
the
afford lawyers?
Chairman, let me
The
speak
insurance
on
support
this.
to pay lawyer $10,000.
By you carrying a lawyer there does not. I mean, to me, I don't think a lawyer is needed in that case, though.
That's
In that
you.
situation, because
That's-
the lawyer is not going to make a
Alright,
job.
hold on. Let's hear from Dream.
Seriously or
Let's
not
hear from
seriously.
Dream.
With
Okay.
the
Let me
way
ask.
Let me make a
I have
point.
a-
Hold on a second. Tatos over to you
I
after-
think
after-
Dream
Go
has
ahead.
spoken. Let me just make a quick point, right? To Prezzo's point, you actually, I'll make a few points. What I want you guys to realize is this, right? There are irresponsible custodian parents, regardless of how much funding is going to them directly from the non-custodial parents. They are still a responsible custodial parents. Secondly, the second point I want to make is this is a civil matter, right? So to your point, Prezzo, you were saying that you can go back to the court and get a hearing and acquire your weekends. It doesn't work like that. I just want to clarify that for you, right?
How does it work?
Okay, it's a whole long process you have to go
It's
through.
the whole process.
It's a whole process, right? But you have equal rights as the custodian parent. That's what people don't realize. You have equal rights as the
Both
custodian
parents, yeah,
parent.
both parents.
No,
The non-custodial.
the custodian, non-custodian parent has equal rights
30
as
seconds.
the custodian parent. So I'll draw this picture for you, right? Let's say you have a child that you're paying your child support for right now, and you allow just a weekend, and you, to Melvin's point, you are not allowed to see this child, or this custodian parent is being difficult to work with you to seeing this child on your particular weekend that was destined to you.
That's a
You
violation.
still have right to go and take your child if you are the biological parent of that child. I want you to
If you
clarify.
can see the child in the first place.
Say that again.
All right, let's go to Tatas.
I just
So
want
if
to
you
clarify.
have access
I haven't
to the
learned
child,
that.
in the
Go ahead. I just want to clarify that.
Tatas, over to you. What was your
I
comment?
was just supporting your point to say if you can even have access to that child in the first place.
True. If
Because
you
most
can
of
even
the time,
have
the custodial parent will have that child in a whole different location that you don't even know about.
right.
But I want to stretch this a little. I want us to go a little deeper on this and just ask this question: what demographic do we think that this enforcement affects the most? Is it
Blacks.
black men? Is it black women?
Black
Is it white men or white women? Which demographic you think that affects the most?
black men.
Black men.
Black man, brother.
Black men. So I there is a reason to this, right?
What's
There
your
is
point?
a reason to this.
What's the reason? What's the point?
Let's once again, this is not data driven. We're just throwing it out there.
Yeah, gentlemen.
You
Yeah,
can't just say you
gentlemen.
can't agree black men just because you know
Exactly, or because-
child support.
yeah.
Mind you, there are more white men in this country than black men.
Okay.
Mhm,
You know that?
mhm.
Yes, of
How
course.
many?
Yeah.
How many
No,
white
no,
men
no, no,
are
guys,
actually
guys,
working
guys.
Yeah, minority
as
group.
black men?
So you
does?
cannot say no. You cannot. I know a lot of white people want child
You
support.
do, wait, let me land.
I'm
When
not
I
disputing
land,
saying I'm not
I
disputing
want
they're not
to go back to
they're
that.
not
We
more
cannot
in child
agree.
support.
Let me
land.
Until we can have the data to prove that, we cannot agree on this show that
Yeah, and we should like.
black men are usually the ones on child support. All right.
Well,
But
let me
on
land.
child support in majority.
Yeah,
So
chairman,
it
I'm
is,
pushing-
it
I'm
is
pushing
not
the point
it
here.
is not the backing of this show to back that. We're not backing that. You guys want to back that individually, you can go ahead and back that. But
Let me
that's
support-
not back.
Yeah, I
Let
mean,
me support this.
We'll find
Let
out
me
for me
support
personally.
this.
Find the data and post it.
There
Yeah,
is a
We'll
lot
work on
of
that.
I mean it's logical to think that these enforcement affect a demographic that is not, say, up to par when it comes to making their payments, right? A demographic
it affects
that
anyone
is-
who does not make a
That's us.
payment.
Wait,
It affects
wait,
people
wait,
who do not make
wait.
their payment.
Let's
That's why
see,
it
let
does.
me
It
land.
affects folks
Let me
who do not
land.
make their payment. The child
Let me
support. Look,
land.
gentlemen, and Tadas, right? It was sticking to like the child support issue here, right? The law was passed not to target any specific demographics.
No,
It was
absolutely
passed
not.
to make sure the kids that are born, if one parent
And
decides
this
not
is
to be
and this is
involved,
where I disagree.
So okay, then if that was the case,
I
then why
disagree.
is it
For
in
that
most
child to be
cases
supported. This-
the
hold on,
females
hold on,
are
it has nothing
being
to do with demographics.
Mel, stop.
It has
Maybe-
nothing to do with
Maybe I
demographics.
have a question for you, Sim.
I
Just allow me
disagree.
to ask
I was,
Ivy a
no,
question.
I was in flight. You gotta let me land. You gotta let me land.
Go ahead, Len. I'll ask it.
You have
So
to let me
why,
land.
why
This-
is it in most
the
cases
system-
the
Chase, wait
females
one
are
second.
used
Chase,
as a
Chase,
custodian parent?
Chase, I'm muting
Chase,
you.
wait 1 second.
I got questions.
There is a
I'm answering
reason.
your
Hold on.
question. You go ahead. Melvin and
There is
Jay,
a reason.
I'm listening.
There is a reason why,
Mhm.
if you go and do research, there is a reason why you'll be able to see that non-custodial parent who are mostly impacted by these disproportionate enforcement are blacks. First of all, if you look at the wealth gap between blacks and the white race, there is a huge disparity there. There are factual numbers to show this
What
theory.
does that have to do with child
No, but
support?
it doesn't have anything to do with it because
Yeah, what does that have to do
no,
with child
no,
support?
Tatos,
It
what you
has
bringing
a
in
whole-
here?
What does that have to
If
do
you
with
let me
child
doesn't
support?
have-
Just
no,
let him
doesn't-
land. Person,
The
we're gonna mute
income of
you.
a person doesn't
Just we're
have
gonna be
anything
muted.
to do with the inability to
let
pay.
me land. I can
Let
take
him
you
land.
out.
Let
It's
him land.
based 20% off of your income.
It's going
So
down
if you're
another
making-
rabbit
if
hole
you're
that will
making-
still be going
if
on
you're
here.
making
It's going down a
$100
raised rabbit
a
hole.
month,
To stay on
it's 20%. If you're
Yeah.
making
If you let me
$6,000
land,
a
I'll-
month,
If you let him land, yeah.
20%. No, but Tato will not
No, but he's
mislead
going
you.
down a raised rabbit hole.
because
not
that's
talking
Yes,
about
he has
a
an
raised
open
rabbit
Let
question.
him make a
Depending on
point.
who to
If he
answer.
actually lands in a rabbit hole, then we can correct him. Let him
a
make
whole
his
different-
point.
But the man's
cannot-
already going there.
Yeah,
Let him
Yes,
make
yes,
going
yes,
there.
an
The
open
man is
question.
giving you
Why would you
shit
allow
like
him to go there?
All right, listen.
Go ahead, Totters.
Tatos, we'll give you
I-
another
I will
minute.
have to land, guys.
ahead.
I will have to land. We
ahead.
cannot
You have 1 minute. You
discuss
have
a
1 minute.
system. We cannot discuss a system just on surface level. If I put two groups of people in a room and I want to profit off you based off arrears and establish a business and profit off you, two groups of people. If I know a certain group of people is not economically sufficiently empowered, right? I will target those group of people. Why? Because I will have more gains from those people. There are facts. There are facts to prove that in the United States that there is a wealth, right? There's a racial wealth between the black and the whites. So if a system, if you look at data, you will also see that the non-custodial parent that are mostly targeted for enforcement are black men. Why? Because most black men in comparison to the white man do not have the same economic empowerment. These are facts. You can go around and say,
The
"Oh
fact
yeah,
does not. The fact you stated here has
So,
nothing to do with
I-
child support.
This is
All right,
a
Nothing to do
who
with
else
child
agrees
support.
with Tatos?
be
Yeah,
a
you go down a rabbit hole that
What do you mean it doesn't have to do with child support? What you mean it doesn't have to do
You're
with
even
child support? You
contradicting
said
yourself. You're even
child support
contradicting
is
yourself.
being is targeting these
All right,
individuals.
hang on a second. Hang on a second.
Yeah,
Hang
you're
on a second.
contradicting yourself.
Guys, let's go to Dream. Let's go to Dream for a minute.
how does this have everything to do with
Others,
child support
others.
because of the finances
Yeah,
that are aligned to it?
It's
Look,
does.
if the non-custodial
But
parent
our-
is not able to make his payments,
Tatos,
the
thank you for making your
government
point.
benefit.
Thank you for making your point.
Tyler
We'll
has
go to Dream.
brought up another topic,
Yeah.
but
We keep going down a lot of rabbit holes that are not necessary
This-
for real.
this route you're going can actually be a whole nother topic for the side in regards to child support, of course. But it can be a whole different topic, whether who does it favor and who does it not favor. But one thing I wanted to understand, the topic today, how does it affect family? How does it benefit the child as we're speaking on child support? So instead of just going around in circle about who does it favor, what demographics does it favor, or what color of people, that's really totally different from what we're trying to focus on here today. That's what I've been trying to really get across there. So if we're going down that one, that would require a whole different research.
Somebody just sent me some data. I requested for some data, right? And here are some things that we need to know. Nationwide, in 2022, as my brother was stating, nationwide, 20.2 billion in cash, right? Child support payments were received by parents in that year, in 2022. With the
Is that not what I
monthly,
said?
with the average monthly totaling at $441, right? 20.2. Tatas alluded that 22 billion was profit. But this
No,
data
I
is
said,
saying
I said,
20.
Chairman, I said in 2022 alone, over 20 billion.
Was profit. You said profit.
We're in profits. Yep.
Wait,
Right.
Did I say profit? Then I misspoke when I said profit.
Oh,
Or 20 billion were received, not
Sam,
profit.
Thank you.
All right, Cliff,
Guys,
Bill was
Florida did it.
receiving child support.
Sam,
Okay, so what is the point you're trying to make? Because you are actually
Sam.
alluding to my point.
No, but
No,
you said
no,
profit. You
Thanks,
no,
said
it's
profit.
not profit.
And this is
Okay,
what we're
but
trying
was
to
there profit? My question is, was there
You
profit?
Are
There's
you
no
saying that
profit.
there's no
The
profit?
government not profiting out of that
There's no
stuff.
profit. There's
He
no profit in
said
all this system.
generated in profit.
Yes, and the government. And I keep
They
saying from
didn't
the
generate
beginning,
profit.
don't
These
go
are
down that
payments that
rabbit
were
hole.
made. They generated and they made these payments out.
And,
These
you,
are payments that were
and we're
collected.
saying that
And
there was no profit?
So
on average, the average person was paying $441.
So these, I got a
all
question
right,
though.
Sam,
So
Sam,
all
one thing is missing over there that
you,
we need to understand from the data you just provided.
Mhm.
There are fees paid
that's all I'm trying to
by
ask. Yep.
parents that apply for child support. I'm not going to go into that, but I would dive into Sam. Just give me a few minutes if you.
And quickly, the fees will not surpass this money that was generated. Come on now.
No,
But it's still
no,
fees
it won't.
paid.
It won't. The fees,
There's
the
still
fees
fees
are
It will
paid.
not surpass that.
One-time application fees. We'll speak to that, but I'm not going to go into those. What
I
I'm
want to
going to
follow
go.
data for us to just look at it quickly. Let's move on. Let's
Move on
to other
on the
things.
But Chairman,
on the
you
impact.
support the aspect,
No, I
the
mean,
business
No,
aspect.
you said profit.
Somebody, when you were speaking, somebody
profit.
texted me and
Over
said,
20
that right
over
over there. I'm
20
going to send you some
billion?
data.
All right,
You said
guys.
profit. That's not profit.
We can move
Over
That's
on.
20
the
billion
system.
received.
Huh?
We can look at the profit.
Let's move on.
How's that a
what we-
profit? The money is being paid out to the parents.
Can I just say something?
Go ahead,
Oh.
Jimmy.
Where you think the money comes from, eh?
The money comes from the non-custodial parent to the system, and then 20 billion of it is being paid to the custodial parents.
And is this money funded? Do you know that this over 60% is
I
Oh,
funded
mean, you
federally?
couldn't tell us how many.
No.
You couldn't tell us how much funding.
Go,
they
go
brought
do
in.
another
We're
research.
not
To
trying to
see
drag
You
our
are
passion
so-
here tonight.
Go,
We're just trying
go
to
and do your
provide
research.
clarity.
I'm not going to give
No,
you figures,
no.
but go do your
Jim,
research
go ahead.
to see what aspect the government is. To see what aspect of the whole child support the
We
government
can,
is.
we can, ex- we can expand on that research. But the
Go
point
ahead,
here
Jim.
is,
Well, we keep saying
this is, go ahead.
Go ahead, Drew.
financial aspect of the child support. That's what we keep trying to say. But then again, what I would like to say is I believe that the government or whomever that's in charge of the policy making of that surrounds child support, they should go back to the history and consider adjusting, like Melvin mentioned earlier, enforcing that the child support not only focuses on finance, but to enforce that both parents have equal rights and time to the child's life. So they should consider the history. The custodial parents, are they allowing the child or the non-custodial parent to have equal time in the child's life? They should be able to go over these things and ensure that child support is actually benefiting families or connecting family and not harming family. So they should be able to put more time into the need of child support being more beyond financial aspects.
Yeah, finances. Sure.
Right.
Okay.
And
I think
and some of what you were saying too, Melvin was saying that in more details as well. When he was talking about, and I think we at some point all of us were saying similar things too, that the system should go beyond just collecting money, right? It should ensure that the kids are, being cared for. The parents are involved. Both parents are involved. They're sharing time. Do additional follow up, not just collect money, And I understand that, but again, if you have, but this is where the other parent comes in too, though. If you are a parent and you've been put on child support, right, and you're paying this child support, and you go to visit your child and you see that your child is not being cared for well, the child has been neglected, right? there is also another system that you can call upon to intervene. Right?
Look,
Child protection.
Chairman,
You can call on child protection if you think that your kid is not being well cared for. You can call on child protection, or you can go back to court.
Yeah.
So, Joe,
That's-
Sam,
yeah, okay. Yeah, Melvin, go ahead. Melvin, go ahead.
Sorry, guys.
Yeah, go ahead.
what you just talk about, when we kind of open another can of worms here, we basically, I will come to that. We're basically speaking of the well-being of the kids. You're calling child agency on the custodian parent for your child. How is that helping the child?
Create
Now,
more
I'm
friction.
going to go into that same, but you answer that question. I will say a few things here, and then ask AB your question.
Now, are you asking me a question, or you?
You will answer that question when it comes to
Give
you.
him 1 minute. Let him wrap
You
up.
answer that question when it comes to you.
You got 30 seconds.
30 seconds is less. I need more time. All right, guys.
No, you got 30
Speaking
seconds.
of the benefits of it, I would go into the benefits.
You got 30 seconds.
Yeah, I will. So there are benefits to this, but what we want the government to ensure is to make sure when we say child support, the child has everything they need, right? Everything that child needs is taken care of by having both parents involved, not just looking at the financial piece of it. I'll be clear on that piece. AB keep mentioning that the government or the child support agency, the system allows both parents to have, the time they need. He keeps saying that over and over and again.
Yeah.
Now, AB, the question to you here is, a parent is paying child support to the custodian parent,
Yes.
right? The non-custodian parent.
Yeah.
And then one parent is making it difficult to have the non-custodian parent involved in that child's life. And this parent who is paying child support to the custodian parent, going back to court, hiring lawyer back to back that requires him or her spending money.
Money that should be going to the child.
Now, to be involved in the child's life, hiring lawyer back to back, and the custodian parent makes it difficult. How do you think that is adding positive effect or impact on a child's life when this non-custodian parent is going back to court just because one parent is making it difficult for the non-custodian parent to be involved? How is that helping them to get those things they need?
Can I add to what you said?
Yeah. So let me just answer this. Well, number one, again, I'll go back to my premise here.
Gentlemen, we got 5 minutes.
Yeah. The systems here, right? The system in this country. Let me just make this clear. The child support system was not created to make anyone a victim. It was there to help these kids. Okay. So to your point, if the custodial parent is being difficult, there are ways that you can go after that custodial parent, and the system will deal with our custodial parent if they are refusing for you to see your child. What happened in most cases? What happened with most of us is like we don't want to follow that process because we feel that it's too. Because we live in a system. Everything is a process. I get it. The process might be long or difficult or tedious, but at the end of the day, if you follow that process, it's going to yield the result that you want. If you care for because the only reason why the whole thing comes about in the first place with the whole child support stuff, as I alluded to last time, especially we from the African immigrant, from the African setting.
Got 1 minute, bro.
Yeah, sometimes we have kids. We're having kids out of wedlock with women that we sometimes don't even know. Okay, you know what I mean? And those things bring situations. When these situations come about, okay, here we live in a country of system. The system there to me, right? I'll go back. The system is there. The system only care about the welfare of the child. Doesn't care whether my girlfriend or myself we're having.
You're not answering the question.
So AB, this is where I disagree with
you.
you.
I'm saying, let's go, Chairman. Here's what I said. He said you can go back to court. The very court that said the child support, you can go back to court. Right, it's a process. The process might be long.
I would say this. Let me come back.
Melvin, before you let Dream come in, please.
Yeah.
So this is the thing, though. I think me and Melvin are kind of like our points are kind of like aligning, because it is not fair to the non-custodial parent if they have to go through the process of going to court, hiring a lawyer, which is
You don't
why
have to hire a lawyer. You don't have to hire a lawyer.
Okay,
okay.
she's a
You
mention
don't need
of
a
point.
lawyer.
it-
Forget the
it-
hiring
Let
lawyer
you
part.
talk.
Yeah,
the
you
person-
don't need a lawyer. You don't need a
Let
lawyer.
her talk, Prezzo. Let
if
her
the
finish.
if the
That's her
custodial
comment.
parent is being difficult,
Please.
if you're filing
Mute the
papers,
man.
the court is not paying attention to you. You have to do these things in order, like someone mentioned here, in order for them to know that you're serious, to be trying to make the effort to be in your child's life or your children's life. It is not fair. So this is why we're talking about how it affects family. It is not fair to the person that they have to go through. So the government, the same way they enforce the non-custodial parent to pay money, they bring up punishments like invoking driver's license and stuff. The non-custodial parents should not have to go to court to get what they want, which is time with their child. The same way they enforces laws and punishment for the non-custodial parent to get punished if not making payment. If the custodial parent is not allowing the non-custodial parent to have access to their child, the punishment should be given without the person trying to pursue going to court or hiring lawyer.
Well, how's
Not
it?
a point.
How's it?
Not a
How's the court
point,
going to
Prezzo.
know that? I mean, like let's say that the custodial parent is not giving, is not allowing the non-custodial parent to
right.
to see their child.
Maybe I'll
You have
answer
to
your
go back to court. You
Let me
have to go
answer
back to
maybe.
court, and there are consequences if the
They
court
should have.
if the court finds that the non-custodial that the custodial parent is not giving the time that was allotted by the court, the custodial parent can face consequences. Why we acting like we don't live?
Okay,
Let's
but you
set up-
know,
let's-
you've been
Let's take a pause
focusing.
there. AB, let's take a pause with you. Let's go to Chase.
The same
Maybe
way
they
No,
will
the
go to Chase
Prezzo
for a
have been
second.
focusing. You know, like we talked about last section, right? That it's a whole, it's a difference. As I said, it's a distinction between if you and the individual are married, it's a whole different approach that the court is going to take. If you were just a boyfriend and girlfriend and you have a child in between, it's a whole different approach the court is also going to take. All right. But you keep saying that the court has designated this time for the non-custodial parent. No, it doesn't work that way. If you were just a boyfriend and girlfriend, right, and you have a child in between, you don't, the only time you have with that child is a weekend. Okay. And that is just because you already designated the the custodial parent. Okay, so what are you bringing? And that's to the person a comment. A lawyer has to be involved. This is where lawyer gets involved, and it's financially expensive
It is.
to go through.
And the system is very complex. That's why some
It
men
is.
will go and hire lawyers.
It is. And imagine this: you have gone through the first process, right? You went through the first hearing. Now, 6 months later to a year, now you have to go back to the court saying, "I don't have time with this child."
You
And,
still
you
haven't
know,
seen your child.
You can't even see your child for all the time you've been paying. They've been enforcing your payment.
Yeah.
All right. So now you're going back. You're taking time from work. You're missing job. You're not going to get those money back. And in that process, there's so many friction going on because you bitter, like the dream said. You know, animosity kicking in from your end now to the parent, and it's not healthy for the child. Bear in mind, there's another man that has access to this child. That's I'm serious. He has access to this child.
The man's being jealous now over the.
But it's
That's not
true,
jealousy.
though. It
Speak
is
from
true.
your heart, Chase. Speak from your heart.
Hey man, I was
Speak from your heart,
around
brother.
you know, I'll let you come in, Chairman. Take on. I on the road, but I'm just saying, right?
No,
There's
speak
another
from
man
your
have
heart,
access to
brother.
this child, so you know clearly now that the friction's there. So you're gonna go hard. Whether lawyer is involved, it's gonna be some measure that you would take, and it's gonna be out of line, and you still got to come back and be corrected. Whether it's going, you know, I'm not gonna go into
Bottom
that.
line is,
All right.
the
So-
support system is meant to what? To benefit the child.
So-
At least that's what it is for. At least that's the
my
talk.
question,
Yeah.
right?
Right.
Since we're agreeing that child support can be divisive, you know, in a way, do you think it's good to try to settle things in house?
Yes.
Yeah.
And even
But
There's
then
always the
what
first
about those
option.
guys? What about those guys who, after you settle things in house, they will pay for 1 month, 2 months, and they start slacking again?
no, but check this out. Check this
Yeah.
out. In-house
What
settlement
you
is
mean, no?
good. The court also
Doesn't
has,
happen.
yeah, it happen. The court also has a group of people that just immediate things, right? They got people that just settle things within the court system. But then if you and the courts also allow you guys to settle it amongst yourselves before even taking on the kids themselves. I mean, the kids, right? So, but in-house, this is what usually happen with an in-house situation. The non-custodian parent starts to pay or make regular payments to the custodian parent, right? Out of nowhere, whether it's whether the custodian parent want the other parent back. It's a whole lot of dynamic that fits into that. We're not even going to go into it, right?
But
So
this is why some people avoid certain
I
things
just
in
want
the
to
house.
Yeah, Chairman. Here's what I want to say to this, right?
But let
I
me
think
why you
they,
don't let people
All right,
learn? Why you just have to have
AB,
this?
hold on. Let's get just 30 more
I
seconds.
haven't even spoken in for 4 minutes
Always
on the
interrupt.
entire platform here today.
30 seconds.
Let me let. Please don't
30
call me that
seconds.
because when I'm on track, let me just
Hold
get
on.
it.
Always interrupt.
So people
30
learning from
seconds.
this. People learning from this. All right. But to the point I'm making, when you're making regular payments, right, to this custodian parent designated, over time, the person gets into their feelings, goes back to the court, and regardless of whether you have records of how much payment you have made, medical bills is on you, the court still grant them
Yeah.
time, a lot of time with the child, and they still beat you up to pay more in child support.
They still
It happens.
enforce
Yeah.
They say
payment.
enforce that. I'm telling you, it happens.
That's
Nah.
true.
So
Here's-
if
here's
you want
what-
to counter that, I'll let you counter that.
yeah. So,
Let me
gentlemen, to me, here's what I said.
So, gentlemen, let's do this. Let's do this,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
We're wrapping up here in a few minutes.
Yeah.
We're stretching this thing to 1 hour 30 minutes. We appreciate the time, but let's move into our closing. Your closing, you can stand on your point. You can defend your point for the next 2 minutes, and nobody will argue with you. And let's just close this way. But try to make your point in a way that is actually factual, or you can share your experience or experience of somebody else. uh, how you believe that this, that child support can affect families. Let's
case studies.
and for the next 2 minutes, I get each of you 2 minutes to do that. We will start with Dream, move on to Titus, move on to AB, Chase, and Melvin.
How about go last? Let Melvin talk. I can go last to you.
Sounds
Let's
good.
go. Yeah.
Sounds good. I'll just switch you out with Melvin right now. I'm on
All
stream.
right, I'll just go in and since
Sounds
they have a
good.
conflict
Yeah.
there. Well, my argument here will be I'm trying to be a little bit.
So Chase, I don't think you're the female in the building. I said the female.
I like that. I like that comeback.
I mean, if you want to change your pronoun, just let us know.
She.
And you can go after her if you want.
Here,
I'm standing on child support should be for the well-being of the child. And another thing I really want, in order for those things to be well put to place, I feel like the way the government go after the non-custodial parent, they should also go after the custodial parent in the same manner. Why I say this? Oh, how can this be? There should be a system put in place the same way they track the payments coming in. When the person is not making payment, they're going to be able to know that payments are not coming and go after that person. There should be system put in place for the government to be able to know without the non-custodial parent having to go through the stress of running behind, filing paperwork. They should be able to know. There should be a system to be able to see that this person is not having the access to their child that they need. These things affect the children emotionally. The child is having some program at the school. The child needs their father to be there. They're having this other program, and because the custodial parent is refusing the non-custodial parent access, the non-custodial parent will not be able to attend certain important events in the child's life. So then again, to my point, they should enforce or set into place system to make sure that the custodial parent is allowing the non-custodial parent to have access to their child's life without that person going through any stress whatsoever. So that's why I'll stop today. And I'll
Thank you.
just
Thank you, Dream. Thanks for your input. Titus.
So this has been a really healthy discussion as we look at the issues that child support brings to families. And every time we have this discussion, I will continue to focus on the minority families, especially for the Black families, and who I feel is mostly impacted. I was a little frustrated when folks were not able to understand why economic disparity would be an issue and how that will impact uh, families, Black families, most especially Black fathers. How we were not able to, or maybe we just didn't have the time to expand on that. How Black fathers are, down on the economic chain, and how that disparity in the wealth disparity between Black fathers, who are mostly the non-custodial parents, and the other race, the white race, how that actually affects Black families, the legal repercussions that come with that, the punishment that comes with that, all of those, the revocations of licenses, all of those repercussions that come um, towards those Black fathers who are trying their best, but due to certain situations like economic, stagnation, that could be beyond their own being. It really takes us some digging down to see how that would play a part in the Black family. And if a man cannot support his child, and the custodial parent is making it difficult, as we've all have said here, it brings a lot of strain. If he cannot financially support his kid, it brings a strain on not just him, but on that family and on that and upon that child. And I like what Dream said when she was making her closing there, that the same way this system tracks the payments, and the same way this system is able to levy these repercussions upon folks who are lagging on their payments, why aren't they setting in these corrective actions, these monitoring measures for the other parent, the custodial parent, so that the father doesn't have to go through all of the rigmarole, sometimes hiring a lawyer, because the complexity of the system. Sometimes you need a lawyer to be able to fight just to be able to be in that child's life. Overall, the system continues to show us that this child support system is mainly concentrated and focused on enforcing payments, mostly because it benefits them business wise than the overall well being of the child. And I would like to leave my argument here for now. Thank you.
Thank you, Titus. Davin.
Yes, sir.
2 minutes.
Thank you, everybody. I think we all meant well for the topic on the discussion, which is child support. Few things I will close with here. There are parents out there that mean well for their kids, but find it difficult to be involved in their life, not just the financial piece of it, which we keep focusing on. It's the well-being of the kids that are impacted by the system put in place, right? It gets really strenuous for the non-custodian parents if they have to go through the system constantly to be involved in a kid's life, right? Hiring lawyer, going back to court and not having lawyer, and dealing with that just because one of the parents is making it harder to have you involved in your child's life. There are parents out here that will do anything, right? Pay money, regardless of what it is, find 2-3 jobs just to have that financial stability, but it still want to be in their kid's life, right? They'll do all they can do to be involved in their kid's life, but one of the parents makes it harder. So Dream made a very important point, which I will kind of end with here, that the system should look into those cases of parents that want to be involved in their kids' life, but one of the parents making it harder. How can the system kind of go beyond just the financial piece of it and not limited to not financial piece, but go beyond that and not just limited to, okay, you pay the money and that's it. They should see to it that certain things are implemented in as much as they have the court order to have the non-custodian parent have the child for certain time based on what have been discussed and agreed upon by the system. Those things should be followed through by the system so that in turn, the kids who are impacted can benefit from it, from both of their parents. Well, my father is paying or my mom is paying children's support to the custodian parents, but here I am, I have both of my parents involved by just the system allowing that to happen. So I think those things in long term will help the kids grow well, will help them be who they can be in society, to be better people and contribute to the society. I will close with that, guys. Overall, it's a huge and a big topic, and I know we all here mean well. We all here focus on key things and how everyone can benefit. The kids, both parents can kind of be involved in their kids' life. I think those are the discussion we all focus on here. So I'll close with that tonight. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Chase, over to you.
Well, yeah, Dream, like everyone said, you actually made a huge point there. But try to ask a question that I want to answer to your point. The reason the code cannot designate or assign individuals to enforcing or tracking how payment or how the kids are not taken care of is because they need extra funding for that. And to the point we've been making, it's business. Because if they can get funding out, it's not staying in. You understand? It's business. But yeah, I would say, I mean, we all mean well, and Melvin said on this topic, and it's a huge topic, to be honest with you. We haven't even touched experts of it yet. It's just a little. We got a whole different area to target if we really want to dive in more. Because we can look at the psychological part of it. And I just want to touch on that for a little bit. Kids that with their custodian parent, right? Who is making it difficult for the non-custodian parent to be a part of that child's life. That particular child or children psychologically is being affected. I'm telling you, man. We can go deeper into this, but no man. I mean, nobody can tell me that a woman loves a child more than a man. The father loves the child more than the mother.
Well,
It's a whole different topic.
That's a different topic.
You already finished that. Guys are here trying to get into another rabbit hole.
The man 2 minutes done.
Yeah.
The man 2 minutes done. Maybe go ahead.
No, don't go.
So here's the thing, gentlemen. First of all, I want to thank our audience.
I think Jake was joking anyway.
I want to thank our audience, everyone out there. It's been a great discussion. I think, as I said, right, it is an explosive topic. And I just want to say the system is not meant to favor anyone, the custodian or the non-custodian. The system is meant for the welfare of the child. Okay? And there are processes that everyone, even the custodial parent, before they even get child support, they have to go through the process, the system, before they can even get that child support. I don't want to say now here, like we're trying to say, oh yeah, the non-custodial parent is the victim. My issue here is I don't think the government is trying to make anyone a victim. The government is I consider child support as another social safety net, so that we cannot have kids here not being fed, not being clothed, don't have housing. If you as a man okay, father or child, okay, you should be responsible enough to what to take care of that child. I don't even think the government should step in. But the reason why the government is stepping in to help because there are a lot of those here that are not responsible. The ones to Melvin point that are responsible, there are issues like there are issues, right? There's like stuff that sometimes it's beyond that the government have to step in to make sure that child is what is taken care of. But I think child support, they will still have social security, Medicare, unemployment. Those are all social safety net. To me, that's what makes this country great. You have this social safety net, so no one cannot be left behind. So I think we shouldn't make it like, oh yeah, the custodial parent child support was put in place to what? To punish the custodial parent. I don't think that's what it was meant for. And I will say this to close. It is not a business. You can go look at all the figure. You have to look when you see a business, the government is profiting, meaning like they're getting revenue. After all the expenses, the government getting X, Y, and Z to what? To profit out of. It is not. You can go check any records. I would say the same way how when you go and apply for a visa or other immigration the things that we do. Okay, those are self-funded agencies. You pay your fees, government pay folks out of that. Now government must subsidize aspect of it because that fee is not even enough. Like if you they assume like the chairman mentioned earlier, if you pay $500 a week, some man kids are very expensive. Kids are very expensive in this country. Okay, right now, especially with the kind of inflationary environment we live in. Okay, to feed that child, to clothe that child, those are things. So we should not look at here that to me, I don't want to see victim on either end. And the government not trying to make anyone a victim. So I'll close on that, Chairman.
Yeah, thank you very much. I like to say thank you for everything you guys shared. And I agree with you, AB. I don't think from the data I looked at, and I've always known this is not a business. They're not making any profit, but I do think that families who are able to settle out of court should consider to do so.
Yeah.
I think when a man feels like he's been taken to the court system or the government in order to be forced to pay child support, it feels bad, it looks bad. And I think for that reason, it creates some hate and animosity within even the female or the male who will be paying. So, as a mother out there, if you have been fortunate with a father, not a father, but a spouse or maybe your ex, your children's father, who is responsible enough to support your child or children in the manner that they need to be supported, give that man benefit of the doubt to continue to do that. You don't have to take him to child support. But again, there are some guys who are irresponsible and they deserve to go to child support. They deserve to be dragged over there to pay that child support because I don't think any woman wants to be saying, "Oh, you don't cash I mean this week, oh, you don't cash I mean this week, oh." You know what I'm saying? So they go in there, they establish that. But if you have a guy who is willing to be a father to his children and willing to step up and spend time with those kids, don't take that kid away from that guy. Don't use the child support system as a weapon to go against that fellow because you guys' relationship ended in a way that you didn't expect. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to say thank you for being here tonight. Folks who are watching us, we like to say thank you for being there. Next week, no, actually Thursday.
Thursday.
Be back here with another topic. We believe that we will be dropping this topic. This is our second time discussing it. It's a heavy topic. There are parts we see that we haven't recovered. Our brother Tatos kept pulling us in a direction that really didn't want to go to. And Tatos, I must agree with you though. I must agree with you that data shows that the black folks, the black men especially, tend to be behind most on their child support. I pulled that data, and you're right. But in majority, white men are on more child support than black men. and for the simple fact that they are in majority as well when it comes to population. So, folks, I want to say thank you tonight for being here, and we'll be here on Thursday. We'll be discussing. I believe the topic we'll be discussing on Thursday will be single parenting and the challenges thereof. So we want you to be here. Call in, support. Put a comment down here. We'll read it up aloud, and I hope you guys have a very good night.
Thank you.
All right, man. Thank you.
Thanks, guys. Great seeing you. Bye.
Bye-bye. Gentlemen, y'all don't go. Gentlemen,